What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Pastor G. Turn the volume down. Turn the volume down. It's Pastor G. I want to welcome y'all to this webinar. I just want to give y'all a real quick teaser. As people come into the stream, looks like we got a few people in now. We're going to wait on a few more people. But if you are here today and you came in here to learn our simple streaming setup, our simple live streaming setup, where you can take something as simple as this. Today, I'm going to show you how to take something as simple as this, and I got another little magic tool that we're going to share with y'all today. If that's what you came to learn about, you are in the right place. What I want you to do is hit that share button and share with as many people as you can that we are on. We are live. If you thought the information that we gave you before was impactful, you haven't seen anything yet. There's going to be some people today that are going to walk away from this webinar empowered today. All right. I got my whiteboard ready. I got everything set and ready to go. I'm ready to go. You ready to go? Let's make it happen. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I'm watching my streams. Everybody, if you can hear me, especially Sister Theron. Sister Theron, she is helping me out today. Everybody say hi, Sister Theron. She's down there in Memphis, Tennessee. She's my assistant for today's live stream. She is on point. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw your questions into the post box. If I don't get to it, she'll get to it. Doesn't matter. Just make sure that you don't walk away from today's session without getting your questions answered. Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, go ahead and throw something into the chat box, wherever your chat box is, and let me know that you can hear me. All right. Let me know that you can hear me, y'all. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I see you. Yes, I see y'all adding people in. God bless y'all for doing it. Keep sharing, because today is power packed. I'm even going to do a little demo today on how to hook some of this stuff up today. So this is going to be a very powerful session. All is good. All right, wonderful. All right, so I'm going to get moving because I only want to spend about 30 minutes on today. I want to do this as quickly as possible so we can get in and get out. You can always refer back to this webinar after it's over with. The things that I'm going to write on the whiteboard, you might want to pause in order that you might be able to maybe write some things down or draw some things for yourself. There's some other things I'm going to put in front of you that you're going to maybe want to pause so that you can actually write down the brands of some of the products, the product names and IDs that we're going to be sharing with you today. So let's get ready. Let's jump in. One of the things that I want to talk today, we're going to be talking about, just so that y'all know, we're talking about my simple recommended live stream setup. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. My simple recommended live stream setup. And here is why I want to talk about that. Let me see if I can get myself on the screen at all. Evidently, I can't get myself on the screen. So y'all have to just deal with this. Now, here's my thing. There's a lot of us out here right now who have been thrust into live streaming. And when it comes to setting up your live stream, if you're going to do your phone, that's one thing. But if you want to get more elaborate, many of you have seen things like this, what's on the screen right now. Y'all see that? Many of you have seen these pictures of all these cameras, these video switchers, these graphics, these lines and all of that. In order to set up your stream, what I'm just wanting to help you understand today is to get to Facebook, to get to YouTube, to get to Zoom, to get to Twitter, to get to Instagram. It don't really take all of this. Y'all see this? Now, in the presentation that you see on the screen right now, I'm going to demo one of those cameras that's in that picture, okay? And we even have one of the other little devices in there. We're going to talk about that today, okay? But the main thing I want to get across to you today is it doesn't take all of this in order for you to set up your live stream. Now remember, let me say this. Everybody's not going to give it to you the way Pastor G is going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you straight. And one of the things I want to make clear is that if you're watching this webinar today, let me help you. This webinar is not for people who have big budgets in big churches with thousands of people showing up, where you got bands rocking out and you got 10 camera angles and lights and fog and all of that. That's not what this webinar is for. This webinar is for those individuals who may have been thrust into live streaming. You haven't thought about the budget. You haven't thought about the equipment. You haven't thought about the staffing. You haven't thought about what it takes. And now you've gone from live stream being 5% of your focus to live streaming on Sunday sermons and Bible study on Wednesday being 100% of what you do. Is this making sense? So if you've got staff, a big budget, you already had, 500 people showing up on your live stream every Sunday, and now you got 10,000, this webinar is not for you. This is for those churches, those companies, those nonprofits who have been thrust into streaming, and you're saying, I've done it with the phone, but now I want to take it up a notch. I want my quality to go up. I want my broadcast to go up to another level. And so that's what this stream is all about today. Okay. So again, we're going to be talking about how to take a couple little devices, cameras like this, okay, and a couple other little devices, and I'm going to show you how to put these things together. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I put together myself, let's see how we do this. All right, y'all be patient. I put together for myself, not the presentation, but all right, here it is. This is not what I'm talking about today. Blah is not what I'm talking about. All right, so what I put together for you all today is I'm going to draw some things, and if you got to pause it in order for you to keep up with me, then I'm going to suggest that you pause after I get done. You can pause it after I get done so that you can keep up with what I'm talking about. Now, first things first. Many of you all, if you're streaming, you're probably using a cell phone to stream. All right? You got a cell phone. All right? And then all you need with your cell phone is, this is all you need. This is the cloud. This is all you need is the internet. I hope y'all can see that. That's all you need, okay? And many of y'all, that's where you started. You started your live streaming. You said, man, we got to get this done. I don't have a lot going on. And I've told you that if you use a cell phone and you've got Facebook on your phone, you can go live so long as you got as long as you have internet on your phone. You should be good. Now, you will want your internet to be strong. You want a strong internet. You don't want a weak internet. You don't want an internet that's got a lot of latency, so you don't have a lot of buffering, all that. But bottom line is, many of y'all, this is where you started with a cell phone. Now, some of you all, even though you started here with the cell phone, you realize that zooming in is kind of clunky. The audio, if you've got the cell phone back some distance from the actual talent, then you figured out that, man, the audio is not as good, the video is not as good, the lighting in my church is not as good. So even when you have a cell phone, here's the big deal with the cell phone. You still have to use good technique. All right? You got to have good technique. Just because you have a cell phone doesn't make for good live stream video if you don't also use good technique. And so remember, one of the things that I told you all was there are some lighting techniques you need to follow, which I shared. There's some audio techniques that you need to follow, which I have shared, right? There's some framing techniques that you need to follow, which I've shared. And I even talked about tripods and things like that, which I have shared, okay? So even when you have a cell phone, and I do not talk against doing a live stream with your cell phone. I'm all about your live stream with your cell phone. You don't have a budget. You got an iPhone, you got an Android, you got a Facebook account, you got a page for your church or for your company or whatever. Go for it, but use good technique. All right. Now, hopefully y'all got that. That's looking good. All right. You have any questions, you can throw those into the message box. Sister Theron will take care of those questions. She'll collect those for us. Let's keep it moving. Now, for those who want to up your game, you want your live stream to be better than it could be with a cell phone. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do. Now we say, let's add one of these into the mix. Okay, this is not going to focus on it, but y'all get the idea. A Canon, all right? You got one of these, that means you probably spent, if you have one of these, you spent roughly $200 on this camera. Not a bad situation. It's a Canon Vixia 700. This is another camera that I'll be talking a little bit more about that I recommend. This is a Canon G20. If you can get your hands on one, matter of fact, the camera that's shooting me right now is a Canon G20. Okay? You might get one of these in your hands. So say you say, man, I want to up my quality, and this is how you up your quality by upping your camera. You have a zoom lens, you have better optics, you can control things like your brightness, your f-stop, other things like that. And I know some of y'all are like, oh, that's too much, Pastor G. I get it, but that's why I'm here to help. You can always put these on auto, and auto works pretty good, okay? Now, here's where we get in a little trouble. I'm gonna use my seat here. Here's where we get in a little trouble. Let me draw it. If you have a camera, like one of the cameras I just showed you, if you got one of these cameras, that's what this represents. Here's the warning. You can't go directly to the internet with one of these kind of cameras. Right? So some of y'all are saying, man, you mean to tell me that I can't do with a camera the same, all this money I spent, $200, or a camera like this, depending on where you buy it, refurbished or brand new, whatever, you might spend $600, $700 for a camera like this. You mean to tell me I can't go directly to the internet? And the answer is no, nada, nunca. You cannot go directly to the internet, okay? And here's why, and this is what I want to show you today. What you need to do, of course you need a camera. But you're going to also, and then of course you need, we'll go down here and say, here's your internet. Here's your www. We're going to X that out because you can't do that with your camera. Here's what you need. You've got to go from your camera to another little device. Okay, we're going to call this a capture device. This is what's been tripping a lot of people up because they did not realize that they couldn't just plug the camera straight up to a computer. Oh, this is the third thing you need. I'm sorry. Let me get it in here. You also need a computer, and I'm drawing a desktop, but it doesn't have to be a desktop. It could be a laptop. Okay, my art skills are a little lame right now. Okay. Okay. And then this has to go to the internet. So these are 4 things you need. 1, you need a camera. 2, this is the mystery device, right? Which is called a capture device. You need 3, a computer or a laptop. Okay. And then 4, you're going to need the internet. I hope this is making sense. Boom, 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 boom. But again, this is the mystery device. Let me show you what I'm going to recommend to many of you all for your mystery device. Are y'all ready? I'm going to switch over because I want y'all to see this one. All right. Are y'all ready? You ready for the mystery device? I hope y'all are keeping up. Sister Theron, ask your questions. Put your questions in the post. Let me see if I've got another. I want to show you all. I'm going to show you the device. Here it is. Are y'all ready? The mystery device. Brrr, drum roll, please. The mystery device is right here. Bam. Let's see. See this little thing? This is an HDMI encoder. This is the mystery device that you'll need. Now, this is not the only encoder, but this is one of them. And I'm going to show it to you. You may have to pause. Okay, here it is. You may have to pause this later on. Here it is. CamLink 4K. This is what I actually recommend. Okay, this is what I recommend. Okay, because of all the live streaming going on right now, this device, and I don't make any money off of this, just to be clear. Because of all the live streaming going on right now, this device is in high demand. So when I bought this, it was about $125, all right? Now you can see them online for about $168 or even more, okay? But here's the worst part. And I might have a local pastor on. There may be a local pastor, thank you, Theron. There may be a local pastor on right now. I sent him out to find one. He couldn't find one within 250 miles, okay, because these things are so hard to find. So then he jumped on Amazon to try to find one, and I'm not, I hope the pastor is on. If he is, I want him to jump in and talk about his ability or inability to find one of these devices. But it is $125 for this device. But this is the mystery device. Now, notice, I have said that this is not the only one. There are other devices out there, but what you're going to want to look for is you need to find a capture device HDMI, okay? HDMI capture device. Got it? This isn't the only one. Let me show you another one. Here's another one. Bam. Y'all probably hard to see, but this says Blackmagic. This is another capture device, okay? So another capture device. This one retails at about $200. You can probably find it used or whatever. I don't have the model on this, but if you look up Blackmagic and Theron, if you're on, look this Blackmagic encoder up, and she'll probably find it and throw it into the post if you have any questions. So this is an encoder. This is an encoder. These are the magical devices. All right. You ready for the demo? Are y'all ready? How much time do I have? Am I running out of time yet? Oh, Lord. How much time do I got? All right. I've got 8 minutes left. Let's do the demo. Are y'all ready for the demo? Blackmagic encoder. Yes. Here it is. Here's how you pull this off. If you want to increase your quality, you're going to want to get you a camera. You don't have to spend $700, $800, $1,000. You can spend $200. This looks pretty good in auto mode, okay? If you have this camera, what you're going to look for is you're going to look for your let me see, get some light on it, your HDMI connection, okay? Now what happens is you have to take an HDMI cord, connect one side. I tried my best to have all this ready to go, y'all. I did. I tried my best. But the table is just so little. You're going to take, and I'm going to talk about these cords in a minute because there's a little snafu in these cords. And I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. But for right now, you're going to take your camera. You're going to look for your HDMI input or output, if you will. You're going to plug your camera up to that. Boom. It's plugged up. Right? You're going to take the other end of that cable, y'all got it? You're going to plug that into your HDMI of your encoder. Boom. Now that's plugged up. You're going to take the USB side and then you're going to plug it directly up into your computer. Now you are ready to go. This device is so awesome that I have not had any software, Facebook, YouTube, Skype, Zoom, WebEx, nothing that I have had has not recognized this device. Okay? So when I plug that camera up, boom, it shows up. What the camera that you all are looking at me right now on is connected through one of these. I've got 3 of them. Okay? Maybe I bought them all. I don't know. Maybe I bought them all. Okay? Now, what flows through HDMI is both audio and video. So what that means is that not only is the video coming through here, but the audio that's coming into this camera is coming through here as well. Is that making sense? Man, I hope this is blessing somebody. Simple setup. This is not complicated. You put this on a tripod. You plug this into your laptop, whether it's a PC or a Mac. That computer will see this camera and you keep it moving. All right. Now, 2 other things that I suggest. If you're on a Mac, in order to get a raw signal, let me see if I can show you a raw signal. All right. Raw signal. Y'all notice there's nothing going on my screen right now. It's totally blank. Many of you all are here because you're saying, Pastor, I like the fact that I've upgraded my quality of my video. I'm using best practices now. My lighting is good because I'm in front of a window. I'm using a great camera, all of that. But I need to have information on the screen, like the lower third, right? Y'all see that? The lower third, I need that. I need my logo, my branding up in here, right here. I need the information about how to find me on Facebook and all that other stuff. If you want that, here's the other two things you're going to need. Sister Theron, throw these into the chat box. If you're using a PC, you're going to need a piece of software called vMix. V-M-I-X-X, capital V-M-I-X-X, vMix. If you're on a PC, if you're on a Mac, I recommend Ecamm Live, E-C-A-M-M Live, Ecamm Live, okay? With those pieces of software, you'll be able to go from this, nothing on the screen, to at least this, where you have more information on the screen. And typically you'll want more information, especially if you're doing teachings or trainings, all right? And also, this also, as you all can imagine, it also allows me, this software also allows me to flow through a presentation, right? Okay, so if you've got a presentation you want to do, you need the software. You need Ecamm Live on a PC, you need vMix on a Mac in order to pull this kind of presentation off. Is this making sense? Now, I'm doing this all by myself, but if I had some help, obviously that would be better. But the good news is that with a little bit of training, a little bit of practice, you can pull this off all by your lonesome. All right? Now, I told you that I was going to tell you all about a little snafu with these cables. Let's see how much time I got. All right, I got 4 minutes left, and I'm going to get out of y'all's hair. Here's a snafu. All HDMI cables are not the same. The HDMI input from this camera and the HDMI input from the camera that is shooting me right now, which is the Lumix G7, are different. So, as best as I'm going to show you, and I might ask Theron to look this up, look up an image of these HDMI connections. This connection is what y'all normally see on your television at home. This is a normal HDMI connection. That's cool, right? But the connection inside your camera is not the big connection. It's a smaller connection. So when you go looking for your cables, you don't want a home HDMI to a home HDMI. This is not going to work. Make sense? Because you can't plug this side into your camera because it is what is called HDMI Mini. This, okay, can y'all see the difference? Let me get out of the way. Can y'all see the difference? All right, this is an HDMI Mini. It's about half the size of a regular HDMI. I told you, there's a little bit of a learning curve to these cables. Now here's the deal. I got to take it another step further. The camera that's shooting me right now, the Lumix, is not using, it doesn't have as its input or output, if you will, it's not an HDMI cable. It's not an HDMI Mini. It is a little bitty one called an HDMI. Can y'all see that? I tried my best to have these things straight. All right, y'all see that? It's even smaller than the Mini. It's called an HDMI Micro. Okay, so you have your HDMI Mini, and your HDMI Micro. Okay, so first things first. When you get your camera, no matter how much you spend $200. I think this is about a $200 camera. You spend $700, $1,000. What you need to know is, what is the output? Is it HDMI Mini? Is it HDMI Micro? So that you get the right cables, okay? You have to get the right cables. Now, here's another little thing that you gotta get. Right now, all right, put this quote in the post. And y'all remember this. You must have good audio. I think I just said something right there. The saying in our world goes like this. Bad audio makes good video look bad. Y'all catch that? Bad audio makes good video look bad. In other words, you can spend all of your time doing all of this stuff that we're doing right now, and if your audio sounds bad, it doesn't matter how good your video is, people don't want to stay and watch it. We are in an era now where tons of organizations, tons of churches are now pushing everything to online streaming. If your quality slips in any kind of way, people, unless they are sold out for you, they're going to move on. They're going to walk right past. They're going to scroll right past you if things aren't right. So here's what I'm suggesting. I'm so sorry. Y'all gonna have to put some claps together for Theron because I'm working her out today. Here's the first thing I recommend. It's called a blue snowball, even though it's black. A blue snowball. Fight the power. Okay? I recommend this if you are budget conscious. Okay? Now, Theron, if you can look up the price of this, look one of these up on Amazon or something like that. All right? I recommend this. This connects via USB straight up to your computer, and your software, Facebook, Zoom, WebEx, Skype will recognize this microphone just like it will recognize your cam link. When you plug it in, it will recognize it. If you are not as budget conscious, okay, if you're not as budget conscious, but you still want a simple setup, remember, we're going for simple, I recommend this puppy, okay? This is called a Blue Yeti. Don't ask me why all of my mics are black. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. But this is the Blue Yeti, okay? It's a really nice microphone, very good dynamic range, does really well. Just my recommendations, okay? Again, you plug this puppy, you can't see it, but you plug this puppy right there, plug it right up to your computer, and it will be recognized just like your cam link is recognized. All right? Now, the only other thing is this. When do you use a Snowball or Blue Yeti? You use a Snowball or Blue Yeti when you're not moving around a lot. Okay? If you're going to be like I'm sitting stationary, typically right now I would be using a Blue Yeti. But I decided to use what's called a lapel mic because I was going to be moving around. If you're going to be moving around, I suggest a lapel mic. But now here's the deal. Your lapel mic needs a mini plug input. Y'all remember this. This is your normal headphone jack. It needs a mini plug jack on the end in order for your lapel mic to work with your cameras, okay, that you have bought. Now this, for instance, this camera here has a microphone input right there. Y'all probably can't see it that well, but it's there, trust me. Right there, right there, okay? And so all I've got to do is take my little mini plug, plug it right in there, right? Put my lapel on, clip, and I'm in business. And remember, because I'm going out HDMI, okay, the audio and the video from this camera is going to flow right into my computer and it's going to look wonderful, okay? Just plug up your microphone, boom, you are good to go. I had another microphone, what's called a Rode microphone. The Rode microphone actually goes into what's called a hot shoe. That's what this is, a hot shoe. Y'all seen hot shoes before. The Rode microphone goes into the hot shoe. It sits on top of the camera, and those are good as well. I just couldn't find mine. It's around here somewhere. So, all right, that's it. I think I'm out of time. I'm 3 minutes over. I gotta go. I hope that helped y'all out. I'm gonna go over this one more time real fast. Y'all can slow this down if you want to. Again, if you want to upgrade the quality of your stream and move from your cell phone to something that allows you to put the lower thirds down, to put more information on the screen, that allows you to run your presentations, right? Allows you to run your presentations. You are going to need to invest in some pieces of equipment. Here are the pieces that I recommend. You don't have to spend a lot on a camera. $200, you in like Flynn. Got you one of these, okay? It's got a microphone input. It's got your HDMI mini. Plug that up, you're good to go. The mystery device, remember, is your capture device. You can use the CamLink 4K. You can go get you a Blackmagic. They're difficult to find right now, but if you keep looking, you'll probably find you one. You plug your camera through HDMI up to your capture device, plug it right into your computer. Then the next thing you're gonna need is a microphone. I suggest the Snowball. If you're budget conscious, if you're not budget conscious, I suggest the Blue Yeti. If you're going to move around, I suggest a lapel mic. But whatever you do, if you do get a lapel mic, make sure that you can plug it into a mini plug headphone jack into your camera. The last thing you're going to need is your software. If you're on a PC, I recommend vMix on a PC. If you're on a Mac, I recommend Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is probably the least expensive of all at about $12 per month, something like that, if you purchase a yearly subscription. vMix, you can actually get the lowest freemium version of vMix. It's limited, it is limited. But if you just want to get into it, you can get into it without purchasing it at all. I think the freemium version is going to stick around forever. On the Ecamm Live, once you get into that, they will allow you a 14-day trial period, and then they recommend that you upgrade. I got one more tool, but I'm not going to share it with you now. I just want to wet your whistle. Y'all need to come back and learn about that tool. The next video I am going to do, though, is going to talk about the different quality of the cameras. So I'm going to take all of these cameras that you see. I'm going to take all these cameras along with my phone and my G7. I'm going to have them all hooked up, and I'm going to switch in between all of them so that you can see the different quality of all the different cameras as you're deciding what level of quality you want for your studio or for your church or for your home or for your office. I'm going to do that, and then the other thing I'm going to do is Theron and I are going to work together. Y'all know Theron is down there in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm here in Indianapolis, so we doing the long distance. We really social distancing, she and I, but we going to get this thing done. We already have a presentation that is complete that's going to talk to you about the platform that you're streaming from, whether that's Instagram or whether that's, Zoom or whatever. We're going to talk about all of those, the pros, the cons, and the cost. So that presentation is coming. So y'all make sure y'all share this with somebody, be a blessing to somebody, and share this with somebody that needs to know or that's getting ready to go live, is getting ready to do a Bible study, getting ready to do some teaching, getting ready to do some education stuff online. Share this with them. I think I am done. Now, there are questions. Let me see. Do we have any questions, Theron, over here? If there are some questions, just tell me yes or no. Okay, she says, okay, so there are some questions. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off now. We're going to call it a day. But before I get off, let me take care of some business. Here's the deal. All of these webinars that I am doing are free, totally free. I said earlier today on one of my videos, I used to be a professor at Tennessee State, Ball State. I did summer programs at Vanderbilt Siegenthaler Center. I used to get paid to tell people about all of these tools. And I'm providing this information free, especially right now, because there are so many people that need it, so many people that are asking. But here's what I would ask. If there's anything that's been beneficial from what we've been talking about today, could y'all please support this work? Jump online, go to my Cash App, $ John Gurtin, go to my PayPal, jgurtin1@gmail.com. And if you are really special, I mean, you really want to support the work we're doing, go to my Patreon page, which allows you to give up to $5 a month. I mean, as low as $5 a month to support the work that we do. Remember, this session is my simple recommended live stream setup. I hope that it has been a blessing to you. I got to get out of here. I'm going to do my outro one more time. And I'm just going to say peace. I'm going to go to the chat box and I'm going to hang out there and I'm going to spend some time answering all of y'all's questions. Thank you, Theron. Y'all give Theron a hand clap. Thank you, Theron, for all of your help. Praise God for her, because it's coronavirus, y'all. I ain't got no money to even pay the girl. So y'all give her a hand. Praise God. We'll see y'all a little later. Peace.